Welcome back to The Truth is Viral. This is part 2 of my exclusive interview with ex-CIA spy Reza Kahlili. If you found this video and haven't watched part 1 yet, well, that's easy enough to fix. All you have to do is click on the link at the bottom of this video. Now, in this segment, Reza tells us about how religion drives the foreign policy of the Islamic Republic of Iran and how they can really hurt us if hostilities begin. Okay, now let's go to motivation. You've translated an official Iranian state-sponsored video called "The Coming Is Upon Us," which talks about the Iranian government's Shia Twelver belief that the Mahdi will rise to unite Islam, supernaturally defeat its enemies, and establish a worldwide Islamic caliphate. Now, Iran is a theocracy. It's governed by Sharia law and the Quran and the various hadiths and whatever heavily influence their foreign policy. So can you tell us exactly what the Iranian government is are they actively trying to make this Islamic prophecy of the Mahdi come true?
Well, that's a very good point. And I've explained about this. I've put out several articles and in many interviews I have emphasized that the reason that we have failed to negotiate with the regime is that we don't understand their ideology. And so basically it is the ideology that we got to understand. They truly believe in the end of times. They truly believe in the coming of the last Shiite Messiah, Imam Mahdi, and they believe all these signs of whatever is taking place in the Middle East, which they call the Islamic awakening, in Europe and U.S., the fall of the economy, they see these signs as per centuries-old hadith, that the time is close, and the trigger is destroying Israel. So when they say that Israel needs to be destroyed, it's not rhetoric. It is within their belief that once that's done, then the coming will be upon us. And I advise everyone to watch that secret documentary, which I reviewed, The Coming Is Upon Us. This was made by the Revolutionary Guards and the Basij in Iran with the approval of the President's office and the Supreme Leader's office. They were going to distribute this in the Middle East, and I reviewed it just as they finished production and showed it to the hierarchy in Iran, and then a whole thing unraveled. This is their theology, this is their ideology, and this is what they think the world will come to. Endless wars, atomic wars, collapse of global economy, havoc, chaos, lawlessness, millions dead, then Imam Mahdi will come.
So they don't have any fear of the United States or Israel retaliating, do they? But what would actually prompt them to actually attack us or to attack Israel with whatever weapons they might have at their disposal, chemical weapons or, heaven forbid, an electromagnetic pulse bomb? What would prompt that attack?
Basically, they have prepared for war. We have to understand that. They have prepared for war on several stages. One is within the country, they've formed thousands of battalions to be ready when people rise up against the regime, to gun them down, to kill all the activists and political prisoners and so forth. Another is for terrorist cells around the world to commit terrorist acts in U.S., in Europe, and all over the world. And then a direct attack on Israel. Now, let me state here, necessarily there does not need to be an attack on Iran for the regime to act. The regime could preemptively act, and that depends on the timing. If they reach that point of having nuclear bombs, and if they feel within their ideology that the time is right. These people rely on centuries-old hadiths, so the timing is within that vision, and this is what is so dangerous about that.
Okay, so now we move from motivation to methods. How would they attack? The guards that you say are in the United States and in Europe, all around the world, waiting for that signal to attack. Exactly what would they do? Would this be in combination with an EMP attack?
Well, that's a real possibility. I reviewed before any news media came out with it that the Revolutionary Guard have armed the vessels with ballistic missiles, and that they are ready. These ballistic missiles could be launched from anywhere, and they're going to expand their mission into Atlantic Ocean. So you could see a commercial ship, not necessarily a naval ship, a commercial ship coming up the Atlantic Ocean, close to Venezuela, Cuba, right behind the Gulf of Mexico, or even further down. And from a container in less than 60 seconds, launch a missile with a nuclear bomb on top of it to create an electromagnetic pulse attack. I have also verified that they've got neutron bombs. Neutron bombs are super EMP bombs. So they could plan an attack as such, which, if successful, only one or two could create such havoc in U.S. and send us back to the 18th century. All the power grids would fry, everything with electronics would fry, cars would stop operating, communication would go down. And actually a report by the Congress, a commission for the Congress, has stated that if such attack were to incur, 2/3 of American population would cease to exist just after 1 year of such attack.
Yeah, I read that. It was from Dr. Peter Vincent Pry. He was a member of the Congressional EMP Commission, and some of the percentages are up to 90%. And these people are going to be dying from starvation, from disease, from lack of medical care. You won't even be able to pump water unless you've got an old crank pump. Yeah. So you were speaking about Venezuela a minute ago. Now, don't the Iranians have a secret missile base in Venezuela?
Well, they do. Actually, what they did, again, I put out something a long time ago that there was a contract between the Islamic regime in Iran and the Venezuelan government, Hugo Chavez, where they would build a missile site. The Revolutionary Guard have got many plants in Venezuela. It provides as one of the main hubs of their activity in Latin America, expanding their terror cells, taking Hezbollah and others over there. And so you see, the threat is on multi-stages. It's like a cancerous cell spreading not only throughout the region, throughout the world, and we have continuously failed to understand that.
Okay, Reza, over the past year, I've been showcasing how the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda, which are both Sunni organizations, have had a major role in this so-called Arab Spring. But you've recently published another article that says that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard has also played a role. Now, from what I understand, the Sunni and Shia Muslim sects hate each other so much, rarely a day goes by when they're not blowing up each other's mosques. So how is it that they come to be working together in Northern Africa, in the Middle East? Is this a case of the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Oh, absolutely. And you got to understand, it was the Islamic regime, the Shiite Islamic regime in Iran, who collaborated with Hamas and armed and financed Hamas. It was them, it is them still arming and training Taliban, which at one point they were enemies, helping Al-Qaeda. There are proof and documents that Al-Qaeda operatives are active in Iran, are financed, and it provides a safe passage for them. And they've been in collaboration with the Muslim Brotherhood for decades. They worked together to assassinate President Anwar Sadat and then Mubarak. And so there's a very close collaboration. And actually in the 90s, early 90s, Ahmad Vahidi, the current defense minister of Iran, who is wanted by the Interpol for the Jewish Community Center bombing in Buenos Aires, he urged Ahmad Mughni, he assigned Ahmad the master terrorists, Hezbollah terrorists, to gather around all these factions and to work together for the demise of the West and America. So Al-Qaeda, Islamic Jihad, the Palestinian Front, Hezbollah, and all of them. And these are Shiites and Sunnis. And so they share a common goal for the destruction of Israel and U.S.
If you could take just 1 minute and tell my viewers the most important thing that they will ever hear in their lives, what will it be?
Well, I want to really get this across that not understanding the threat of a nuclear-armed Islamic regime in Iran, it's going to bring about the demise for humanity. And let me tell you how. Just a single detonation of a nuclear atomic bomb in the Persian Gulf, even if we were to destroy them, that God forbid that never happens, because the majority of Iranians are the most westernized people in the region. They love America, they love Israel, and they've been aspiring for freedom and democracy. But if that were to happen, all the oil flow from that region would halt immediately. And so the global economy would collapse immediately, and we would see the greatest depression humanity has ever seen. So this is the ideology of those radicals who have taken Iranians and the world hostage. They know that would cause such a devastating effect on the world, and they think that would facilitate the coming of the last Islamic Messiah and the conquest of Islam all over the world. So we are going to face horrendous time if we don't take concrete actions and correct actions to stop them from getting the bomb.
So basically, what it boils down to, since a lot of my viewers are atheists, some are Muslim, some are Jewish, some are Christian. I've got viewers of all faiths and some that practice no faith at all. But what I would like to impress on them right now as I'm looking into this camera is that it doesn't make any difference what your personal religious belief is. It doesn't make any difference if you don't have a religious belief. The only thing that matters is the Iranians do, and they are bound and determined to see it through. And you need to stay right here on The Truth is Viral, where we have great guests like Reza Kahlili, former CIA operative, author of A Time to Betray. You can visit his website at atimetobetray.com and check him out on WND, WorldNet Daily. He's a featured author there. Reza, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. It really meant a lot to me, brother. Thank you.
Thanks so much. God bless.
Well, that certainly was a coup for The Truth is Viral, if ever there was one. Turns out that Reza Kahlili's information out of Iran, that there's been a secret deal struck, is accurate. Here it is right here in the New York Times. And I'm the first program to have him on as a guest. I'm extremely pleased with that. The Lord is really looking out for me. Now, in the next few weeks, I'm going to have Dr. Chuck Missler, trying to get Dr. Peter Vincent Pry on from the Electromagnetic Pulse Commission. If anybody knows what kind of a nightmare we're faced with, it's that man. So stay tuned. Make sure that you support this channel. Spread these videos everywhere you go. Put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook, Reddit, dig it, tumble it, whatever crazy means of sharing information that you might have. And if you have the ability, please go to bobpowell.blogspot.com and throw me a donation, because I am in desperate need of a new computer. This one is on its last legs, and if it goes, I will have no way of continuing this show. So I need your help in every way possible. We're all in this together, my friends. It's a big crap sandwich, and we're all going to have to take a bite. But hopefully with your help, maybe we can save a few lives. So until next time, my name is Bob Powell, and as always, God bless. Semper Fi. Hoorah.